G'day and welcome to episode 60 of Trent365. Today is Monday, the 29th of January. Wellness, is it a movement or an industry? Something like gay rights or equality is a movement, whereas something like the automotive industry is, well, an industry. So where does spa and wellness fit into this spectrum? A couple of years ago at a spa conference in Dubai, I suggested that wellness was really a movement, not an industry. It kind of ruffled a few feathers and got a few people's backs up until I explained a few of the attributes of an industry and asked people to consider whether or not wellness qualified as an industry or is it a movement. For example, an industry is guided by standards, whereas a movement is rooted in values. You'd have to say that the wellness industry hasn't done a great job at this stage of establishing a set of uniform standards. Conversely, I think we are pretty well rooted in certain values. So on that score, we're a movement, not an industry. Another one, an industry becomes more uniform over time, whereas a movement becomes more diverse. You'd have to say, with the spread of wellness into all sorts of different categories of our lives these days, diversity seems to be the theme. So on this score, again, you would probably say we qualify as a movement, not an industry. A third one, an industry is inoculated against passions and fads that flare up outside its walls, whereas a movement is contagious, influencing institutions, individuals, and ideas beyond itself. Well, I think we're certainly not inoculated against passions and fads, let's be honest. So on this score again, I think we're a movement, not an industry. And finally, an industry is exclusive with barriers to entry that become higher over time, whereas a movement is inclusive with boundaries that are barely there. If you really think about it, there's no significant barriers to entry to anybody to enter the wellness game. So once again, on this attribute, we're a movement, not an industry. So on balance, you'd have to say wellness is a movement, not an industry. Not yet, at least. And why does it even matter? Well, I think it matters because once you start asking people for money for things, which we're doing, we're charging people for these services and these products we're providing, then I think people need to know that there's a certain set of industry standards and guidelines. So that's the level I think we need to get to now as we look at wellness becoming a true business, a real industry, if you like. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. You can subscribe on iTunes, Google Play Store, Overcast, and a few other places, or just follow along in the social stream. I'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.